Here, your thrifty apprentice. Welcome back to another card creation Sunday. Today we are going to be doing a all watercolor composition because I figured it was time for me to give people watching the channel for watercoloring and a watercolor demo tutorial, so to speak. So I'm just going to be making a very quick watercolor card. This is a 5x7 card. I'm using a piece of Strathmore 500 series 100% cotton 5x7 140-pound acid-free watercolor paper to paint on. I am using my QOR 12-piece introductory watercolor set. This is one of the last field tests that I'm doing with this paint before I offer my review on it. So do stay tuned and be sure to subscribe so that you don't miss that review when it's released. I'm using a number 4 round synthetic squirrel a Grumbacher Academy brush to do most of this composition with. But as I tell you guys all the time in every single video, regardless of what I use, you use whatever you have on hand. I promise you it will work. So I started off by using the lightest blue in my set and watering it down a lot. I do believe that's cobalt or cerulean. I don't have the swatch sheet in front of me, so forgive me if I miss some of the names. But I watered it down a lot and used that to do my background because I knew it would dry super light and allow me to layer the colors for my focus image on top without interfering with the colors too much. So you're going to see that I actually mixed a purple because there is no violet or purple in this 12-piece introductory set. So here I used the ultramarine and quinacridone rose, I do believe they were, in order to create my violet color. In order to darken that mixture, I just added more ultramarine as I needed to. So I took the lighter of that purple after making it and watered it down to make a light wash and painted in the entire flower head itself. And then of course I added that extra ultramarine to that same mixture in order to darken it up, and I used that to place in my shadows. Now when I'm watercolor painting, I kind of paint backwards than I do when I'm using watercolor pencils or colored pencils. With watercolors, I do paint from light to dark, which is the standard way that it's done. For the most part anyway. There are some times when I do it the other way around, but yeah, for the most part, it's light to dark. So that's why the lighter colors go down first, and then I came back in with my darker tones in order to add the shadows onto the petals of each flower. Afterwards, I went in to mix the green for my stem. Now, again, I cannot remember the name of the green in this set, and I am so sorry, guys. I wish I was better prepared as I was doing this voiceover and had the swatch sheet in front of me, but I don't. However, I use that green, and because it's not the most natural of greens, I did mix some of the lemon yellow into it just to give it a little bit more life. And you're going to see that I actually add that lemon yellow directly into the stems after doing the mixture as well. Once the stems were done, I went back in with that heavier dark mixture of the violet that I made just to outline my petals on the flowers just a little bit more to make sure that they stood out from the background without any issues. Afterwards, it's just a matter of going back and forth between the colors that I've mixed on my palette until I was able to achieve the depth in color that I wanted in my composition. Again, this is not anything too fancy, and it's definitely not a masterpiece, but I did want to still stick with doing a watercolor card or doing a card for Card Creation Sunday. But as I said earlier, I really felt like it was time for me to give you guys a demo that concentrated more on watercolor paints than on anything else. And hopefully it's easy and not sped up too much for you guys to follow along. So here, as I normal, I'm a splatter guy, as you know. So I'm just splattering the colors that I use in the composition in the background onto the painting just to add a little bit more vibrancy and life. And then I'm going to take that mixture of green that I made earlier, mix up a little bit more of it, and I'm going to paint in some blades of grass that I did not originally have in the composition. I felt like with the flower, it was just a little bit too stark and empty, should I say. So I decided to go ahead and add in some blades of grass just to try to add a little bit more fullness to the composition. And you're going to see that I do put 3 blades in here because typically 3 is the charm. If you stick to adding odd numbers in your picture when you're deciding on what image to use, it lends to a more balanced composition. So now, since it's a card, I'm going to take one of those Caran d'Ache crayons, of course, water soluble, and ink up one of my sentiment stamps, and I'm just going to stamp that down with love because it is a card. And I noticed, excuse me, that stamp sentiment didn't take the way I wanted it to. So I mixed up some more of that dark violet color and then took a really thin brush and went in to outline the lettering of that sentiment. And to be honest, once it dried down, it still wasn't dark enough for me. So after all of this, you're going to see that I actually grabbed my Master's Touch Fine Art Studio water-based fine line markers to go ahead and darken that sentiment up more. And you'll see those markers have both a bullet end and a fine liner end. I haven't done a review on them, and I've been using them forever, but I will. And I think they're a great product. So guys, that's pretty much it. If you like what you saw in this video, don't forget to give the video a thumbs up. Go ahead and be sure that you subscribe so that you can keep up with everything that we have coming out on the channel. As I keep telling you guys, I think I have some great new content. Be sure to head on over to the Thrifty Apprentice Facebook page and like us there so you can keep up what goes on and off camera. Don't forget to use the comment section because I would love to hear from you guys and converse with you. And please share the video. Sharing is caring. And remember, just keep painting.